Welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is James, also known as the Only Zerg. This is going to be part three to my Naruto What If series. What if Naruto was adopted by Kenichi, the mightiest disciple? So, yes. Okay. I momentarily lost my place in my notes. So, where we last left off our part, Mio was sparring with the young Naruto, and Hana kind of showed like a little bit of her nature, like the type of personality that she has. And this caused Kenichi to because he observed this going on, because seeing Miyu smile like the way she was when she's doing martial arts, he hasn't really seen that in a while, and it made him think of his past, and then seeing what his daughter did got him to thinking about maybe going and seeing a few old friends and asking them some questions, because obviously his daughter is really smart, and if she's anything like Naruto, because the two are almost have been almost inseparable on Naruto's part, always trying to be around Hana. He's thinking that Naruto's rambunctiousness may play off on her and cause some things, and he needs some advice on how raising a freaking genius. Because him and Miu, they do have an above average intelligence, but a a child prodigy, unless you're a phenomenal parent, no one can really be prepared for something like that, because of the personality that the person can develop. So we're going to do a 1 year time skip from that scene. Naruto is about 7, and Hana has been following him around a lot, kind of watching him, because he has started to practice to join the academy. And with Hana inheriting her father's ability to get to learn and develop faster than normal, and Miyu and has talked to him about it, that her grandfather and the other masters saw the same thing happening with him. So this really enforces Kenichi to really taking more of a hands-on interaction with their martial arts training, more so than he has been. And one during one of after Hana's getting in between her mother and her brother, he started training her. He actually started training her properly in martial arts, and she progressed at a phenomenal rate. And Miyu talking to Kenichi about it, she's just like you in that regards. And so during one of the sparring sessions, um Kenichi can feel a slight heat come off of one of his daughter's punches. And he's thinking, So he will look into it, because the doctors did say that she has two different chakra natures, from what they can deduce, or something is definitely going on with the daughter. So they obviously would have been taking her to the hospital, and they would run a bunch of tests. like on the kid. Like I'm pretty sure they would be able to tell because they would have access to the scrolls that you can pump some chakra through. Like they would be able to do some kind of test to kind of figure out what um, is going on, because Hana's not a normal child. So they would run a battery of different types of tests, and they would be, because Hana does grasp what they're saying when they explain chakra to her, to like let her energy flow through like her body and kind of concentrate it in her hands while she's holding these scrolls. She would comprehend it, is what I'm getting at. So our story is when Naruto is 7 years old, at least the start of this part. Naruto and Hana are sparring, and they're prepping, like studying more. Naruto always trying to like get out of it, but Hana always telling him like, if you don't study, bro, I'm gonna pass you up one day. You're gonna be useless, which aggravates Naruto, but it's unlike when other people call him useless, like it's his little sister, and this just drives him to like prove her wrong that much more. And it, because he's like, I can't let her pass me up. So Naruto does train, and he will have a higher control over his chakra, but he'll have a hard time releasing it because he really emulates Kenichi. Like Kenichi was the first person to like really offer to train him, and Kenichi took him in and really treats him like a son. Because calculations, he's 7. I met when he was 3, so he would have been living with them for about 4 years now. So Naruto not growing practically up by himself, I feel would have better nutrition, so he wouldn't be short. I would say he's he's as tall as Sasuke, if not a few, like an inch or two taller. At least until like they're adults, because I think when they're adults, they're pretty much the same height. And Naruto is like an inch or two shorter. So in this one, he'll be like an inch to a few inches taller than Sasuke when everything's all done. So nothing like a 6-inch boost or anything, but quite noticeably. And also the fact for the past 4 years, it'll be 5 years when he joins the academy, he's been training with a martial arts master in like the arts that he runs, a Paku dojo from Kenichi's mightiest disciple. This Naruto is having a younger sibling, being driven and encouraged, having 3 people in his life doing this, but still the village kind of viewing him as a demon child, simply because he still does pull pranks to get their attention. So yeah, he's still viewed as kind of a problem child, but he's only doing this so other people recognize him, because he doesn't know why. Like, people just look at him like this outside of his family and a few friends that he has been able to make. Like, I would say he'll still become friends with Shikamaru and not Shikamaru. It's not Shikamaru. It's God. Yeah, it is Shikamaru, because it's Shikamaru, and Choji. Yeah, it is, because he would still develop that quasi friendship with Choji and Shikamaru that he does in canon. My apologies, I just didn't have that written down. So Naruto and Hana are sparring, and Hana kind of says, "Hey, bro, have you ever wondered about mom and dad's past? Like they don't ever really talk about it, and people around the village they don't treat us like we were here." And Naruto says it's probably because of me. I don't know it either, but something happened and everyone else just looks at me differently. And it's probably just because, well, mom and dad adopted me. And Hana just looks at him like, huh? You were adopted? And Naruto looks back at her and he goes, Hana, you mean to tell me you've never figured that out? I thought it was kind of obvious with, the blonde hair and, well, dad's black hair and mom's brown hair. And you having a mixture of the two. And plus, it don't even look like either of them, but they're my parents. They took me in when I didn't have anyone else, and, well, you came into our lives afterwards, and you're as much as a sister to me as any blood relatives would be. As he proceeds to then kick her and knock her back, and she flips up with another kick, yelling, "It's not fair, we were talking!" As she knocks him back and kind of busting his lip, as she comes running over to him, he's like, I'm sorry, don't tell mom. I lost control again. Naruto kind of coughs and wipes the blood off his chin and is like, well, it's going to be pretty hard to hide this. My apologies, one moment. Sorry about that. And Hana's like, he sees Hana grin and smirk. As she reaches out and grabs his face and he feels warmth. Like Naruto can feel some warmth on his cheeks. And then he brushes where the split was and he's like, huh. And then he looks at her and it's like, figures you'd learn mom's technique. And this is when Hana's like, yeah, and well, dad teaches you more than he teaches me. So obviously I'm going to learn more from mom. And they both kind of start laughing as Hana helps him up to his feet. And he looks down at his little sister and rubs her head and he says, Ichiraka Rama, before we go home. And so they head to the noodle shop, and when they get there, I lost my train. So as they get to the ramen shop, they are the old man in the shop smiles and is like, if it's not the trouble kids. And then you just hear Hana say, what'd you say, old man? You looking down on us? And Naruto just says, calm down, Hana. Jeez, you tell me I need to learn to take a joke. Hana then smiles at the shopkeep and he says, the usual, you two? As he's smiling back at them. And they sit down and their usual snack that they get in the afternoon after they train, they can go by and get noodles. It's just their thing. So you still have the Naruto that falls in love with the ramen. So we still get the noodle shop interactions. And this is just more so I would feel it would just be something that he would naturally do because Naruto likes good food. He can be kind of gluttonous at times. Albeit that's probably because of how you grew up, but still. So like a few minutes pass, and then they can just feel like this big pressure behind them, and chills go both up at their spines, and they're both thinking, it's like, let it be dead, let it be dead, let it be dead. Because if Mio found them eating before like dinner like this, because they had just sat down to like eat a second bowl, and his dad, like their dad says, you know your mom's would be upset with you two right now. And Mia turns around smiling, but Dad, we wanted a snack after we had our sparring match. Yeah, Dad, come on, like I've gotta spoil my little sister, right? And Kenichi just goes, hee, one bowl please. So and he tells it to, and this is your last too. And so they finish all their soup and they make their way home. On the way home, Naruto sees like one of his classmates in like an element that are from like an elementary school, and Kenichi sees this, and as they get closer to the home, he begins to ask Naruto, like, so who was that kid? And Naruto's like, well, he's one of the Uchihas, and well, they've been one of the several people, the ones that really look down on me. But I don't know, Sasuke's weird. So they come in, Miyu greets them, and this is when it's explained, like Naruto sees like the big meal that's in front of him, and he's like, Mom, why'd you make so much food? Like, you know we can't eat this much. And this is when Hana kind of smacks him in the back of the head, and he's like, you ditch, you don't remember Dad said one of his friends is coming over tonight? And Naruto's like, oh yeah, the other taijutsu master. Dad, can I spar with him? So Naruto has a little bit more of a fighting spirit in this. And Kenichi's like, before he can say anything, there's a knock at the door. And they open it, and wow. God, I must be tired. So Naruto sees this man with a bowl cut haircut, some bushy brows, and like a green jumpsuit. And right before like Kenichi can say a word, before like Hana's in the process saying, Dad, there's a weird guy in a green jumpsuit here. Kenichi's like already there, and Hana just is looking up, and she sees like her dad and this guy kind of like locking arms a little bit, and then kind of smiling. So the kids are introduced to Kenichi's friend. He says, most of you can probably already assume who this is. This is Guy Sensei. This is Might Guy. He's my first friend in this village. Well, you two have been exhibiting some weird stuff, and well, I thought it was that chakra stuff that people in this land apparently use. So he looks at Guy and he's like, so did you bring him? And he's like, yeah. It's like, what's it about? It's like, well, young Naruto hasn't been tested yet for his nature, and I figured like you would be able to give them a few pointers on it, because well, me and Mew, we've done all we can with them, and well, we don't use chakra. And I've been thinking about it a couple of the past few days, and well,
you came to my mind a lot. You're a taijutsu master, and well, you also use chakra in like ninjutsus and some ninjutsus. And guy's like, oh, so that's why you wanted me to bring him. I thought couldn't figure that out. Yeah, well, pretty sure like the food's done, right, honey? And you just hear Mew call out. It's like, yeah, I'm just getting the rice ready right now. I'm just bringing the rice out right now. So they sit down and eat. And after dinner, and like a few jovial moments between Guy and Kenichi, more so like the two testing each other out because they both are martial artists. And, well, martial artists, they kind of fight each other. In well masters, they will kind of how Kenichi and Guy's relationship acts is like they will test each other like randomly to see if the other can see it coming. Obviously, not like with the intent of actually hurting them, but more like flicks and like small jabs. So they afterwards, Naruto like proceeds to like pump chakra. Like he goes to try to like use chakra, like pumping it out. And guy's like, huh, you do have chakra, but why aren't you releasing it? And Naruto's like, I kind of have a hard problem with that. I don't know why. And guy is just thinking, it's like, it's probably be something to do with the Nine Tails. Should I? No, Lord Third said not to talk about it, so he's like, huh. So he asked Naruto's like, what do you do when you use your chakra? And he says, well, I move it throughout my entire body. And Guy says, have you ever tried pushing it out of your body? And Naruto's like, yeah, I do, but I have to concentrate really hard. Guy says, well, I want you to hold these in your hand. I want you to hold this in your hand, and we're going to go through these. In after a couple hours of Naruto really trying and like concentrating on this, he eventually gets like to a scroll that evaporates, it explodes, and it's wind nature. So Naruto finds out that he has wind nature, and then Hana's over there jumping. He's like, bro, you have wind nature, have lightning nature, and earth nature. We can come up with some very interesting combo moves. As she's just over there, like, kind of scratching her chin. And she, both, like, Kenichi and me, is like, Hana, no creating weird moves again. Okay, Dad, but I'm not the one you should be talking to. Naruto's been theorizing about some pretty weird and useless jutsus. Even Naruto like begins to laugh. He's like, well, not all of us can be geniuses like you little brat. As he begins to like chase her around the house, and Guy begins to like laugh, and it's like, ha ha ha, Kenichi, your kids, they're as rambunctious as ever. And Hana stops and is like, wait, as ever? And God is like, oh, you were probably too young for you to remember me. And Naruto, and he looks at Naruto and it's like, do you remember me, young Naruto? And he looks up at him and he's like, ah, bushy brows. And God just kind of like internally face palms, and he talks with Kenichi for a little bit, and he says, your daughter, she's smart, she's very intelligent. Do you guys have any plans about getting her into the academy? And Kenichi looks over at his kids as they've proceeded to like continue running around the house, and he's like, yeah, well, I think she's gonna stay by her brother. Though, it's kind of hard to teach her all that chakra stuff. Naruto, he's more apt at learning it, but I think that's just because Hana feels like she doesn't want to hurt her brother's feelings, but that's just something we're gonna have to work with her on. But there's still like another year before Naruto's definitely will be ready for it. But sure, they could get it now, but I want to make sure, I want Hana to be a little bit older, and well, Naruto still needs to learn a few things, specifically how to release his chakra. Any advice on that? And this is when Guy says, well, I'm not the best person to like teach that, but oh, I do know someone, but he's always off on missions. Have you thought about asking the Lord Third? He may know someone that could help out with that. And Kenichi like smiles and thanks his friend and says, next time, Guy, we're gonna have a match. As like they kind of like fist, as they kind of lock arms, like grabbing each other's hand, and Guy says, it's a promise. And they both kind of laugh as like Guy leaves. So we're going to skip like another year, and this is like the first day of the academy. Naruto and Hana are like leaving the house, and Mia's like, here you go, I packed you guys a few bento boxes for lunch. And she hugs Naruto and Hana, and then they both kind of go, Mom, come on, we're gonna be late. Well, more so Hana. Naruto's just like, Mom, come on, I'm not a little kid anymore. Naruto becoming more and more, developing a more independent streak. So, like, they make their way to the academy, and when they get there, they both take in a deep breath, and Naruto looks at Hana, and Hana looks up at her big brother, and he's like, you better do good, little squirt, or I'm gonna leave you in the dust. And Hana, like, rebuttal is like, well, at least I can do it. You barely passed, Baka. Calling him stupid. And they notice some ruckus, and Naruto he sees like a bunch of kids pushing a girl down. And, well, Hana kind of sees this again, but before she can like say something to her brother, Naruto's already running over and proceeds to like kick one of the kids in like their side, knocking them back, and kind of spinning around, landing firmly between like the girl that's on the ground. And when he was sprinting, he was like, oh, white eyes, that's cool. And as the kids say, oh, it's that demon kid, what are you doing here? And Naruto grins, and he's about to like really fight these kids before Hana comes in and karate chops him in the back of the head. And she's like, idiot, Dad told us not to fight. And Naruto like rubs his back. He says like, ouch, Hana, you didn't have to hit me so hard. But yeah, Dad did say not to fight anyone. At least with the intent of actually hurting them, as he glares at the kids and they get scared and run away. Naruto turns around and offers his hand to the girl and helps her up. And Naruto says, hey, are you alright, as he's doing this? And the girl introduces herself as, my name's Hinata Yuga, and thanks. As she's, your mind kind of is blanking out a little bit because Naruto's staying there. And this is when Hana pipes up, and I'm Hana Shirahama, and well, this is Naruto like grabs her and is like, I can introduce myself, okay? I'm not that big of an idiot. Hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage. And this kind of makes Hanade chuckle a little bit under her breath. And she's like, thank you again, as she runs off. Hinata kind of looking at her big brother and looking at Hinata and just kind of, that was weird. Then Naruto says, shall we? And Hinata says, yeah! And with that, that is going to be the end of this episode. I know this is a little short, and I'm sorry about the interruptions. I'm going to post this one because this is my fourth attempt at actually recording this part, and I want to do the 3 years of the academy kind of in its own video. Because this is when like the story really starts to change from what it is in canon. Because up until now, Naruto has kind of really only hung out with his sister and like in Sashimura and Choji, like every once in a while when like they would kind of play pranks on people. And like he does know who Sasuke is, and over the past year he's kind of started viewing Sasuke as kind of like his rival. Because like yeah, he has his rivalry with his sister, but that's more sibling rivalry and not like a friend rivalry, kind of like what they have later on in the series in canon. So that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.